Here's Dan Shapiro to help you find your edge, master your process, and own your future.
Hey guys, happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the AxesATrader.com weekend update show. Hope everybody is having a great weekend. For all of us, again, on the Northeast, we're waiting for another storm, right? The one that gave us a foot and a half of snow only 2-3 weeks ago. Now we're supposed to get another foot and a half again. So hopefully you guys are warm. You have enough supplies. Hopefully, if you don't have a generator, your electricity stays on, but stay home, stay safe, fight another day. Congratulations, right? Congratulations to the U.S. men's hockey Olympic team. Big deal. They won gold over Canada. Full disclosure, I don't think I've watched a second of the Olympics. My bad guy. But again, congratulations to USA for gold. And other than that, thank you very much for tuning in, spending a couple of minutes of your Sunday with us. And hopefully I will continue to do my best to point you in the right direction. All thing I ask is if you like what we're doing, click that like button, support the channel if you haven't done so already, subscribe and come aboard. All right, let's talk about a lot of stuff to get into. Friday, right? Friday was the Supreme Court's announcement, or at least ruling, on Trump's tariffs. I'm reading this, believe me, I don't memorize this stuff. 6-3 ruling, the Supreme Court strikes down Trump's global tariff on Friday, claiming that the tariffs were illegal, rejecting of emergency powers to impose trade duties. And as you can imagine, the market was all over the place on Friday, initially spiking, then giving it back, and then spiking, and then giving it back, and then spiking. So basically, if you ever traded a Fed day and you thought it was crazy, this was crazy times 1,000, right? I traded some Micron, I traded some Amazon, I rejected some Tesla a couple of times, and I was like, all right, I'm done. I don't need this anymore in my life. Too crazy of a day. But at the end of the day, the bulls actually wound up making 1% on the week on the NASDAQ 100. Is that a good thing? Well, yeah, obviously it's a good thing, better than bad, but we are still far from out of the woods. Bitcoin continues to be a barometer of speculation money. Again, it's not something that's going to correlate to the market generally, but the fact that, again, it lost that 76,000, 77,000 area several weeks back and is still consolidating, building a ceiling, that is not a good thing. Right now it's trading around the 67 area. A retest of that 60,000 level based on how it's consolidating should be here sooner or later. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. But basic technical analysis says that it should. So let's talk about the data, right? As you can see here, we are right in the middle of this distribution cycle. A distribution cycle takes place when there is not enough fear to go lower and there's not enough strength to go higher. As you can see here, we are dab in between the 50-day moving average, roughly around the 618 level, and the 150-day moving average, roughly around the 593 level. Was Friday a baseline now for the market to kind of re-challenge the 50-day moving average? Again, your guess is as good as mine. Again, I've stopped guessing years ago. I'm on my 27th year. I stopped guessing a long time ago. Again, if you want to, try to make a name for yourself by guessing when the market's going to go, hey, you're all adults. You're a dime, you're a dance floor. We trade on data. So until the market gets out of this either 618 channel or the 593 channel, there's absolutely no reason to believe the market is going anywhere fast. The good news is, while I'm not trading the market, we're trading individual names. That's the most important part. It doesn't make a difference what the market is doing, right? The reason why I say that, you guys heard Trump said the market is at 50,000. Well, no, the Dow Jones is at 50,000. The 30 stocks that represent the Dow Jones is at 50,000, but the market is nowhere near 50,000. Anyway, now that we got that out of the way. So what does this mean, right? What does this mean? You're going to see a little bit more chop, right? That is the best way to say it. You're going to see a little bit more chop, but like I said a minute ago, we're not trading the market. We're trading individual names in that market. After the close, or I think it was on Saturday, Trump came out and says he's raising global tariffs to 15% now. Is that going to be an come the market on Monday? Again, your guess is as good as mine. Again, I'm not trying to, will my way for the Qs to reclaim the 50 or lose the 150. It's all about data. So what are this data telling us, right? What are the individual names telling us? Well, there's a little bit of a mixed bag. And we're going to go through some names right now, and you'll quickly see how some of these names are right in the middle of their mixed bag. So let's start off for the upside, right? Let's start off with the upside first. So you got a name like Apple, right? Apple had a really, really strong run in January, right? End of January. It went from basically 270 all the way up to 281. Really, really big move, and had this really nasty move down. The cool part about it is, again, just like the Qs, it's stuck between the 50-day and the 150-day. But if you look at where it's closer to, and again, it doesn't mean it will reclaim, but if you look at where it's closer to, it is now closer to the 50-day moving average or, than the 150-day. Is this a name that if it starts getting above the 50-day moving average, I will be pretty aggressive with? I guess you have to, right? Don't you? Again, the 50-day moving average doesn't grow on trees, doesn't come about every single day. So yeah, if Apple starts getting back above the 50-day moving average, I will definitely be a buyer. Having said that, right, if it gets below the 150-day moving average, you can see here how many times it held, I will be a seller. But I will give Apple at least the benefit of the doubt come tomorrow that it could reclaim back the 50-day moving average and see what we have here, right? SanDisk and Micron continue to be, big outliers, man. They have never sold off with the rest of the technology space. They've been acting really well. We'll get to the pivots in a second. We had a nice pivot on Micron on Friday. And, again, they're nowhere near their support because they've been having this godlike run and they've never given back their gains. So kudos to them. Amazon, after having, crappy earnings, losing the 50-day moving average. Again, it's giving pretty good bounce areas, really giving pretty good pivots above the 5, above the 10-day moving average. And it looks like right now it wants to retest back that earnings gap potential on February the 10th, somewhere around this 213 area. I think this 213 area will be a very interesting area coming up this week. And the reason why is if you look at where it got rejected on this, it's the same area. You see how it got rejected on February 9th, got rejected February 10th. So this is called a linear regression line, right? It's been rejected twice off of it. It's going to be very interesting to see. If it gets to 213, that could be a decent spot for look for a potential rejection. Because if it does get rejected off that 13 level, you can see history in the last 2 weeks has shown us what potentially could happen there. So keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on Amazon for this week. If indeed gets back into this linear regression line, see if it gets rejected, right? It gets rejected. Meta had a really nice move. We had a pretty aggressive pivot on Meta, and we'll get to the pivots in a second. On Friday, Meta got back above the 50-day moving average and closed below it. It's not a great sign, but at least it got back above it. The problem is after the earnings has been really, really sold. So again, you can make a really aggressive case that this is just a dead cat bounce into the 50-day moving average. Where this is going to become a real bounce is if it can reclaim back roughly around 659 on the close. If it could get back above 659 on the close, that means it will reclaim back the 50-day moving average. MSTR, right? MSTR, it had good earnings, had a nice reaction to earnings. This is just dead money. This completely mirrors the Bitcoin is doing absolutely nothing. Coinbase actually had a nice pop here the last couple of days. Its next area of potential price discovery is going to be this 177 level. That's a 20-day supply. Keep an eye on this thing. This thing gets to this 177 area and gets rejected, could turn around and go back lower. Sorry, those are our pivots from Friday. Yeah, let's talk about the ones that haven't, right? Microsoft. Microsoft and the rest of the software space continues to be terrible, right? There's no signs of life on this thing. Absolutely horrible. You got Adobe, again, also in the software space, looks horrible. Oracle, which we had a nice pivot on Friday, looks horrible, right? There's a lot of names that look horrible. So it's very, very tough to get excited about the overall market when we're below the 50-day moving average, and some of the biggest leaders and some of the leaders that are, putting, good weight on it, it's not acting well. It's not acting well. Vago continues to be weak, right? Continues to be weak. Got rejected Friday off the 50-day moving average. NVIDIA continues to be in this like long range. Every single time it looks like it's about to bust out, it dies. Every single time it looks like it's about to die, it reclaims levels. They have earnings, I believe, this week. So I'm assuming they're going to come out of this range this week. So again, nothing really imminent there until they come out with earnings. AMD, not good. AMD is not good. It's, well below the 50-day moving average, just is continuing to hold on to the 150-day moving average. So it's not great there as well. CRWV got manslaughtered on Friday. Google had some AI news. I forgot what it was. Had a really, really nice day. But again, you can see it's still below the 50-day moving average. So, look, I think you have to be open-minded going into Monday. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot Tesla. How can I forget Tesla? It's like forgetting one of my children. So Tesla in the last 3 days, as the market tried to bounce, put in 3 straight days of lower highs. That's all you need to know, right? Until Tesla gets back above the 5-day moving average, it continues to be dead money. I will be watching this thing if it loses the 64 EMA this week for more downside. But again, not really a great sign that Tesla didn't rally, didn't participate in this last spike of the market, or at least dead cat bounce of the market. So we'll see if there is a personality shift coming up this week, but we'll see. Again, we trade both sides of the market, so it doesn't make a difference which way it goes. But I will say it held the 64 EMA now 1, 2, 3 times. This thing loses 64 EMA. This thing could get back below 400 really, really quickly. So that's there as well. So these were the pivots, right? These were the pivots for Friday. PLTR never got above. Hold on, did I put the individual pivots in? Yeah, sorry about that. Let me just show you individual pivots. It's the same ones. It was just a little bit different prices. So Micron, right? Micron, where is it? Where am I? Micron. Yeah. So Micron, 420.31. A lot of times you hear we talking about a sneaky area. So 420.31 and 427.85 needs to confirm. Micron gave a big move. It really did. Gave a big move. Took out the 420.27 area. Took out the 428 level. Traded all the way up to 431. I caught a piece of that move. Nice move. Again, for all you guys who caught it off the sneaky channel, give a $10 move. Really, really big move there on Micron. Oracle got smoked, 151. If it builds below, can flush. Oracle went all the way down to like 147. Again, continues to act really, really crappy. So here's the other pivots. Meta had a really nice move, 647.20 basically needs to build. I think Meta would trade it up to like 664 with like $15, $16. Amazon, you want to hear the funniest thing on Amazon? So I got long Amazon, right? I got long Amazon. I was so tired going into Friday. Sometimes like, your mind goes blank. I accidentally sold literally my whole position on the first spike. Anyway, this thing went to like almost 213. So stupid. But anyway, that's that. Other than that, PLTR didn't confirm, and Tesla didn't confirm as well. So let's see, right? Let's see what happens. I will be watching NVIDIA in case they try to run it up ahead of earnings. Obviously, I think everybody else will as well. Obviously, Tesla, I will be watching. I'll watch both sides. AMD, I want to see if they could finally lose the 150-day moving average. I like that. MU continues to be strong. Keep an eye on this thing above Friday's channel. Snow, again, another software name, looks awful, figuratively and literally. Again, considering we're about to get hit with 1.5 feet of snow. But you can see here, the bottom range here looks terrible. And honestly, guys, Apple could produce, if it could reclaim the 50-day moving average, it could produce a big move. Again, guys, all you need to do is look what happened on February the 2nd when it reclaimed back the 50-day moving average. That's this light blue line here, all right? So it went from 270 to 280 in 3 sessions. That's pretty good. So let's see if we can get a reclaim back of the 50-day moving average. Other than that, everybody, if you are interested in pivots, guys, click that link below. Hang out for 30 days. Pivots are pretty cool. Again, I've been saying this for years. I don't think it's a good fit for everybody, but if you are an active trader and you've been following me for many, many years, I think it's definitely worth a look. Guys, have a great night, everybody. Have a great day. Stay safe, stay warm, and with God's help, I'll see you all in the field tomorrow. Take care.